Hey guys, welcome back to Ad-Lib Talk, and this is my review for Malcolm and Marie. Starring John David Washington and Zendaya, Malcolm and Marie is a romantic drama in which a filmmaker returns after quite a successful movie premiere and has an awful argument with his girlfriend as issues within their relationship start to come out, all within this one night. But before we start with this review, don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoy it, and please do consider subscribing. Those are the two main ways you can help support my channel. Let's get right into that review. Now, first of all, if you are looking for a fun, romantic drama for a date night with your boyfriend, girlfriend, this is not that movie, right? Imagine spending 1 hour and more or less 40 minutes watching a couple argue, and you've got Malcolm and Marie. I'm obviously reducing it to its most basic form, but at the end of the day, Malcolm and Marie is definitely not an enjoyable watch, and I do not think it was meant to be an enjoyable watch. It has its moments of brilliance, yes, but more often than not, it is an infuriating watch as you find yourself constantly wondering why you're watching such a toxic couple go at each other for the 10th time in this movie. But let's start off from the beginning. So Malcolm is a movie director who has just returned from this premiere with his girlfriend, and apparently in this premiere, we never get to see it obviously, but apparently it got quite positive comments from most of the people who are there present at the premiere, and at the very start, it seems like it's going to be a happy celebration in this beautiful modernist home that their production company had rented them. Things quickly change, and for the worse. So Marie makes mac and cheese, which apparently is Malcolm's favorite food, whilst Malcolm dances and sings. And as we look at Marie, we notice that she is not happy. And slowly, the positive vibes start to die away as both the viewer and Malcolm himself sort of start to notice that Marie is not as enthused about what happened during the night. After a bit of arguing, it becomes clear that the reason why she is angry about this is because Malcolm forgot to thank her. She was obviously referring to his speech, and in which he basically acknowledged everyone except for the person he loved the most, the love of his life, apparently. And that is basically the premise of this movie. And that is the premise for what happens in the next 1 hour and 40 something minutes. It's interesting, yes, but let's now talk about the execution, which is a little meh. Performances are key here, and I must say that both Zendaya and John David Washington do give their utmost. They are two extremely talented actors, mind you, so any criticism I might give, which I pretty much won't, because both Zendaya and John David Washington give pretty decent performances here. We saw John David Washington at his best, I think, in Black Cake Klansman, for which he got a Golden Globe nomination. And whilst he did give quite a weak performance in Tenet, he still stood his ground in that movie as well. Here, he isn't bad. His performance is quite dynamic. He has his moments here and there, but he's definitely overshadowed by Zendaya, who teamed up with Euphoria director Sam Levinson, in which Zendaya had been, guess what, a recovering addict, of course. However, Zendaya gives us a great performance, and that I have to focus on a lot because Zendaya really is excellent in this movie. She pretty much has all the best moments in this movie. Round about the 1 hour mark, we have one amazing moment with Zendaya where she sort of gives us a sort of an act of being a recovering addict, but the obvious addict performance, right? And that moment is brilliant. If you've watched the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. And basically, we see Zendaya showing off all her acting chops in this movie. I won't spoil, but that moment really was good. Unfortunately, moments like these are sparse and not enough to make 1 hour and 40 something minutes of arguments enjoyable. Nonetheless, this cannot be blamed on the actors. It's hard to explain, but I think the main culprit here is the script. what could have been an insightful introspective of a relationship collapsing or potentially not collapsing, it turns into one long rant session, either about the white film critic from the LA Times, or how Malcolm doesn't care enough about Marie, or how Marie has too many mental problems to function in their relationship. It's repetitive to a fault, and it always ends up in the same way. They eventually kiss, and everything's okay for a few moments before the next rant starts. The script is not all bad, mind you. I enjoy how Levinson, a white director, mind you, sort of explores the issue of race in this movie, and the issue especially with sort of black actors and directors, right? It felt a little more nuanced than what we usually get in these kinds of movies, and also quite clever, but that's pretty much as good as it gets. Where this movie does excel is visually. The cinematography here is brilliant. Marcel Rev, who had worked with Levinson in Euphoria, follows the action really well and provides us with a number of breathtaking shots, despite it all being in such a limited scope. I also enjoyed the choice of filming this in black and white. It seems like a good choice and really fits with the style of the movie. It was a stylistic choice that did pay off, as it was all very beautiful to look at. The setting also pays off well. All the action pretty much takes place in one big modernist home, which is absolutely stunning to look at. Finally, I also have to say that the soundtrack is really, really good. To be perfectly honest, I had really high expectations for this movie, considering all the amazing talent that there is behind it. And I expected it at least to be a good movie which I could enjoy. I did not enjoy Malcolm and Marie. As I watched it, I constantly acknowledged how good it looked. I constantly acknowledged the talent that was behind it and the potential, but I could never empathize with any of the characters, and I could never really get myself to care about anything that was going on screen. Despite the performances being so good, it all felt a little artificial. It felt like you were looking at two good actors giving us two great performances. You know how the really good movies are the ones you sort of get lost in, right? And which completely forget you're watching actors. This is not it. This is not it. And you're constantly thinking, yeah, these are two great actors, but I'm looking at actors, I'm not looking at characters. Anyways, despite this being a beautiful watch, I still give Malcolm and Marie a 2.5 out of 5, and I will only recommend it to you if you are a big fan of John David Washington or Zendaya, or are looking for something really, really toxic for the night. This is the watch for you. But if you're looking for this fun romantic drama or something to watch with your boyfriend or with your girlfriend for a nice Netflix movie, this is not it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that review. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on this video and don't forget to subscribe. Cheers, and I'll see you guys next time right here on Ad Lib Talk.